Hi, third graders. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about volcanoes so that we are prepared to listen to our story tomorrow called Dog of the Sea Waves. Now, the Hawaiian Islands, you have probably heard of the Hawaiian Islands before, but these are lush, green, and very beautiful. Mrs. Peterson hopes that she maybe can even go there one day. But it's hard to believe that they were formed from red hot, bubbling rock that rose deep from inside the earth. And when this melted rock cooled, it hardened into the land and formed these islands. And there are a couple of pictures for you here at the bottom of the screen that show some different views of these islands. Plants such as palms and animals such as seals found their way to these islands, and eventually people did as well. And now they are a huge tourist destination and home to many different people and animals. Now, this week we are going to read, or you're going to listen to a story called Dog of the Sea Waves. And in this story, there are 5 young men who explored these volcanic islands a long, long time ago. And we're going to find out in the story what happens when one of those volcanoes wakens from its rest. Now, I want you to think about, before we move on here, I want you to think about what do you already know about volcanoes? So take a couple minutes and just think, what do I already know? Well, Mrs. Peterson told us that the Hawaiian Islands were formed by volcanoes. Maybe you have a picture in your head of what a volcano might look like or sound like. Um, what is something that you want to know more about volcanoes? And maybe you can spend some time this week doing a little research on your own and figuring out more about volcanoes. Maybe Pebble Go or National Geographic for Kids would be some great resources that you could explore to even learn more about some of your questions. How often do volcanoes erupt? So we heard on the previous slide that when the Hawaiian Islands formed when the volcano erupted or woke up. And how often does that occur? Where can we find volcanoes? And what changes do these volcanoes cause for the people or the animals or even the land in which they are found? So I'm hoping to answer a few of these questions for you. Maybe you have some of the answers for yourself, but I'm hoping to answer a few of those questions as we continue. Now, here are some volcano explosive facts. So, a volcano is an opening that is in the Earth's surface. So, if we think about the Earth's surface, that's kind of like the ground. And if there's an opening in that surface, it could be a volcano. Now, volcanoes are usually found in a mountain, and this opening allows gas and hot magma, which is like really, really hot rock that's liquid, and also ash to escape from beneath the Earth's crust. So the Earth has like this outer layer on it that we call a crust. And if there's a little opening in there, then some of this gas and hot liquid that's deep, deep, deep inside the Earth can escape. Now, volcanoes are often found at some of these meeting points of the Earth, and we call those meeting points tectonic plates. And these plates, they're not like a dinner plate that you eat food on. Think of a different kind of a plate, but they're part of the Earth's surface. And if you think about a jigsaw puzzle, maybe that you're doing at home right now to help pass the time, these tectonic plates fit together very carefully, just like a jigsaw puzzle. And sometimes those plates move over the top of each other and just shift just a little bit, that they cause a little uneasiness with the earth. And then the hot liquid rock that's underneath the earth can start to come up. Now, these volcanoes can be found, they don't always just occur on land. They can also be found under the ocean floor, and that's where a lot of volcanoes are at. And they also could be under ice caps, like a glacier. So there's lots of different places that you could find a volcano. The world's largest active volcano is found in Hawaii, and it is called Mauna Loa, and that is the largest active volcano right now in the United States. There are some good things that come from volcanoes, and there are some kind of damages and effects that volcanoes can cause. Some of the good things is that volcanoes can produce very rich and fertile land. And what I mean by that is over time, some of that lava and that ash that breaks down produces this soil that is very, very full of nutrients, and that's really, really good for crops to grow. So if you're going to grow some crops or some vegetables in soil, you want it to have a lot of nutrients because that means it's really healthy for the plants to grow. And so the lava and the ash from the volcano create this really healthy soil so that you can have some really fertile land right near a volcano. But now we also probably guessed that volcanoes also cause quite a bit of damage to the land around them. So they can trigger tsunamis, which is a kind of storm that can occur. Floods and earthquakes and mud flows and rock falls could happen. And with all of those things happening, of course, buildings could be destroyed, maybe from the lava, but maybe from the earthquake also. A flight path, if you're up in the air on an airplane and there's a volcano that erupts, maybe that flight path is going to be disrupted and you're going to have to go a new route and now your trip takes longer. And also that some of that ash can ruin crops. So there is some good things about volcanoes, but there is also some damage that happens with volcanoes. Now, I found a video, and I'm really hoping that we're going to be able to watch this together. It's just about 1 minute, and I think it does a really nice job of explaining how volcanoes how they happen and what happens with a volcano, and we're at a safe distance to be able to watch this on the computer instead of trying to be up close and personal with a volcano, which would be very dangerous. Before we watch the video, though, I do want to go ahead and just tell you what your jobs are for the week, and then we will come back and watch the video. So your job this week is to read to self for at least 20 minutes. Remember, we talked about this last week, and your third grade teachers are really hoping that each and every day you are choosing a book to read on your own for at least 20 minutes, okay? Also, you're gonna go to Raz Kids and you are gonna find an assignment from your teacher. The assignment is posted and you are going to follow the steps to complete that video or that assignment. You are also going to watch Mrs. Peterson's video, which you're doing right now. And then here, right here, there is another video about volcanoes that I want you to watch. It's another short one, but just gives you a little bit more information about volcanoes. And then record your story and your answers for your quiz on Raz Kids. Record that on your student work slides. For your may do options this week, boys and girls, here are a couple of your options. Option number 1 is to create a homemade volcano at home with adult permission, of course. You can click on this document right here, option number 1, to give you the steps and to tell you the ingredients that you would need. Please, please, please ask for adult help or supervision before you do this on your own. When you click on this document, it will be a view only, so you are just able to see the directions and you are not able to make any changes or add to it. It's just for the directions. Option 2 is another video all about volcanoes. So remember, these are just options, boys and girls. Some of you will want to learn lots and lots about volcanoes, and others of you know a lot of stuff already. And the third, and maybe my most favorite one, is to watch this Pixar short called Lava. There is a wonderful author's message and theme in this Pixar short. So after you watch that, think about, what is the author trying to teach you? What is the author's message in this video? And how can you use this message in your life every single day? Okay, so those are your options for this week, boys and girls. Now, before we end this video, let's go check out this really cool volcano video. It's a great big world. It's a great big world. With so much to learn. National Geographic Kids.
Hey everyone, it's Amanda.
And Keith.
We're here at Nat Geo Kids, and this week we've got a bunch of cool videos to share with you all about volcanoes.
So I bet you're wondering, what exactly is a volcano?
I can answer that one. So volcanoes are basically vents in the Earth's crust that release lava, rock fragments, and gases to the surface. Most volcanoes form when huge chunks of the Earth's crust, also known as tectonic plates, collide, move apart, or slide next to each other.
When tectonic plates make contact, magma is squeezed out to the Earth's surface in the form of lava, creating mountainous volcanic regions.
And as we all know, volcanic eruptions can be extremely explosive. Some eruptions are so powerful they can shoot superheated particles over 20 miles high and even throw giant boulders high in the air.
On the other hand, some volcanoes are not that explosive at all. Instead of exploding, lava is slowly released to the surface of the Earth. These are called effusive eruptions and are far less dangerous than more explosive volcanoes. Let's take a look at our first video, which further answers the question, what is a volcano?
All right, boys and girls, I hope that you had a wonderful time today learning a little bit more about volcanoes, and I hope that you can use this information as you listen to this week's journey story, Dog of the Sea Waves. Have a great day.